Hey. All right, I'm so excited about this live today. And I am giving away I went to clean my brushes and my Restore brush cleaner is like right on its very last leg. So that's no bueno, and I decided I love it so much, I'm gonna give away. So share this video. If you're just joining, please say hey. I'd love to say hi to you and know where you're coming from. If you're just hopping on here live, just say hi. And if not, say replay. If you're watching the replay, I'm cleaning off my brushes right now. So I'm just going, I love this brush cleaner so much. It smells like heaven, if I can get any of it out now. It smells like heaven. And it is, look, I'm unscrewing the cap. So I'm like, no, you have to come out. And here's my brushes, and it seriously is so nice because, oh my gosh. Because you just sweep your brushes over your towel. Gross. And then it dries. So you don't have to do it like, you know, the night before or at least the day before and hope that your brushes are dry. Like I can use this right now. Best brush cleaner ever. Totally keeps my brushes going and keeps them intact. Hi Rory from North Idaho. What part? I lived in Idaho for like 5 years. Hi Leah. What's up, girl? Look at that, you guys. It's so amazing. All right, so I am really excited about this live today because this is really important, and a lot of people have loved they just want to know any tips that I have for knowing if your foundation is the right color. Look, boom. Good as new. You guys want this. Share. Hi. All right, if you're just jumping on, make sure that you share. I'm doing a giveaway, and then stick around. North of Coeur d'Alene. I just went to Coeur d'Alene for the first time last year, 2 years ago. I don't know. Kentucky. I think we already established I still haven't been there yet. Not really been there. Does driving through count? 99 miles south of Canada. I still haven't been to Canada either, so I should probably do that. All right, my brushes are ready. Okay, so I wore white cream is technically what it is. It's not the cutest shirt, but I wore this today so that I could show you all of the different ways to, I just didn't want it to like anything to be offset by my shirt, but I really want to talk about picking out your foundation. This is what I do. I love helping people pick out their foundation. You guys, look at this magic. And just figuring out if the colors are right for them. And I love to do little color matches with you, and then walk you through and just help you figure out and make sure that your colors are right. Eyeshadow colors, same kind of principle, but I do that too, but we're not doing that today. Today we are doing foundation, highlight, which includes highlight and contour, and maybe we'll throw in some blush if we have time. But if you're just jumping on, say hi and make sure to share this video for a chance to win some of this amazing Restore brush cleaner that I love and could not live without. All right, so today I have my palette with me. This is my artist palette. And I also have my personal palette here. This has all of my like favorite or like using colors right now, and it's just one level, and then this is a 3-level palette. So I keep in here my highlights, my contours, and my blushes down here, okay? So I also want to talk a little bit about correcting your foundation as well. Hi, Michaela and Michelle. Thank you guys for joining. So I want to talk about like cream foundations versus liquid foundations and powder foundations. So cream foundations are nothing new. They've been used for a long time, and they are used by every professional makeup artist that I know. Even if they end up setting it with a powder, which is often, they use creams. And the reason why is because there's a few reasons, but the main reasons that I like to share is that creams they go on really smoothly, and it's really easy to know if you have the right or the wrong color. They look much more natural. They're also not like set in stone, where they're not movable, they're not buildable. They don't oxidate, so they don't turn orange and have like like you'll put your foundation on and then all of a sudden like you come back a couple hours later and you have like the orange line going on. They don't do that. And if you are highlighting and contouring the traditional way, if I put on like a liquid foundation and then I set it with powder, that crap ain't going anywhere. And if I messed up, or if it doesn't look right, or if something happens and I smudge it, like you have to start all over again. Not to mention that creams look amazing on every age range. They really, really complement youth, and they really complement maturity, and any type of skin or anything like that. It's just going to give it a glow, which the glowy look, the dewy look is really popular, as well as the matte look. Like they're both kind of contrasting, obviously. But the thing about this dewiness is that it's a dewiness that lasts, and it doesn't have to be sparkly or anything like that. Most of the things that I get that are dewy in foundations or BB and CC creams or anything like that, if it's illuminating, you're gonna see that there's gonna be like a bit of a shimmer to it. And that's not what I want. That's going to collect in fine lines and wrinkles and pores and all kinds of things. And that's just going to make your pores look bigger, or your lines look more defined. Whereas if you have something that naturally moves with your face, that's breathable, that's light, this is light, fresh, it's a beeswax and lanolin base. So having something like that is going to help improve your skin, which has improved mine greatly. And then it's also going to flow a lot better. So I'm going to put on a color here that is, this one is called Linen. And I'm just going to put it on like I would regularly do my highlight with the big end of this brush, which is the Detail Hack brush. And I want you guys to tell me if you can see how this makeup, how this color here is kind of separating a little bit. It's kind of collecting in my pores. It's not really sticking to my face. It's making it kind of look a little bit more dry and chalky. And I'm gonna do another color over here. It's hard for me because I have such fair skin, I can barely show you guys. I don't have too many colors that are too light for me. But this is really, what I really want to talk to you about is that it's really not about too light or too dark when it comes to creams. It's about the right color. This one here is Moonlit. All right, can you guys see that? Someone tell me if you can see that. That it's like pasty looking. All right, this is not even. I'm gonna step back a little bit. It's not very even, it's not brightening. And it's actually giving my face the appearance of dryness. All right, so we have Moonlit over here, Linen over here, and it's just not covering, it's kind of separating. Let's do it on a flat space like my forehead. See that? See how it's collecting in my pores and over here? All right, so obviously that's not what we're going for. I have my pre-dampened cloth here. And before I move on to which one looks correct on me, I'm going to do contours too. So let's do all the wrongs first. All right, now I'm going to put on, so if your cream is incorrect, it's going to look chalky, pasty. It's going to look like it's separating. It's going to look like it is enhances dryness on your skin, and you're going to be like, I don't really have that dry of skin. Why does it look so dry? Hi you guys, thanks for joining. Make sure you share this live. I get 30 shares. Every 30 shares, I'm going to give away a Restore brush cleaner that I could not live without. All right, so now I'm going to go to Too Dark. Too Dark is pretty darn easy to tell, but I'm going to, actually, I'm not even going to go to Too Dark because like I said, it isn't always about light and dark. It's also about having, okay, thank you, Lindsay. I'm like, can people see this? It's not always about, it's about having the right color too. Oh my gosh, see, this is why you don't match your foundation to your hand. Look at how different the color is. All right, so this is a good shade for me, you know, probably to start out with. This is, you know, a medium light shade. So I'll give it a shot and see what it looks like. And you can see why it's not just about light or dark. It's also about the wrong color. Tell me what this does to my face. I'm always trying to look over comments. Tell me you guys can see this too, because I might have to put a little more on. All right, so I'm going to swipe back at the comments here so I can see. So this is good coverage, as you can tell. The coverage is looking good. When you get closer, it's sitting on the top of my skin, but can you see kind of what it did to my skin? It made it look like greenish. That's what I think. I feel like as I start working with this, yes, gray, ash gray, it has that, like, it doesn't have enough yellow in it. Yeah, and not illuminating my skin at all, which is what I want. So I know I said it doesn't have enough yellow, and yeah, we don't want like yellow jaundicey looking skin, but we do want to brighten and illuminate. So this isn't illuminating it. It looks gray. It looks kind of gaunt. And this is a good color for me. So like a good shade range, a good level. So that is really telling to me that, you know, it's not the right shade, and it's a really good way for you to be able to check on that. So if you feel like, and even I want to talk about shade changing too. The nice thing about creams, another nice thing about creams is that you can basically get all these creams and be like, not all of them, but you can get creams and it's like art, you know, and but not even as complicated. Where as the seasons are changing right now, I need more water on this thing. The seasons are changing right now. As women, our hormones change throughout the month so much. There's going to be times when you'll try on a shade and you'll be like, this shade worked for me, you know, last week, and it's not working today. And that's going to be because your undertones, your skin thinness, maybe you got a little sun, maybe you haven't gotten any sun, and all those kinds of things happen. I look so beautiful right now. All those things happen. And so it's really nice to be able to just adjust it. You can't do that with a liquid. You can't do that with a powder, to just adjust it and just be like, oh, I'm going to put a little bit of this on and put a little bit of that on. Maybe you have a breakout or something like that, and it's really, really nice to be able to just adjust here and there and kind of work with a couple of colors. So these colors are $14 a piece and they last a very long time. So it's really nice. All right, so now I'm going to move on to contours and how you know if your contour is wrong. So I'm going to use two shades that, I'll use three shades actually, that could be good for me. just my, like my range, what people would normally put me in, because I'm really fair. All right, so this one here is walnut. And this is a nice, like a nice, more, what's the word? More cool tone contour, which you want to match the shadows on your face, right? And so if I'm really looking at the shadows, I have really cool tone shadows. If you don't know what your undertones are, you can match with the veins in your wrist. If you look at mine, mine are blue, purpley blue. And so I'm pretty cool tone. Sometimes they're a little bit greenish, which means I'm a little more, you know, I'm kind of like cool to neutral. All right. So using I got like a hair from the disposable cloth. Annoying. So I'm using this brush here. Someone asked which my favorite brush is. That is a really, really tough question. I would say that if I could only have one brush, which makes me want to cry, I would choose this one, which is the Detail Hack brush. But the close runner up is the B Squared brush. Such an awesome multitasker. Love, love, love it. And then this one is killing it lately, just being an awesome multitasker also. All right, so let me drop my contour and drop it on my black pants. My hair's kind of wild today, you guys. Hey Chelsea, hi Bridget. You guys share this video. If you're just coming on, say hi. And if you're watching the replay, say replay. All right, so I am gonna put this contour on using the edge of my brush. This is how I put my other contour on, or how I put my correct contour on. And I'm just kind of smudging it right at the base of my cheekbone and bringing it down and blending it out a bit. So this is the problem with wearing a contour when you are cool tone. And this is, you know, works the opposite way too for people who are warm tone. If I'm wearing a contour like this and I am seeing that it is looking orange, it's just gonna look dirty. It doesn't look like I'm carving out my cheekbone. It doesn't look like, yes, Day, hey girl, it doesn't look like I'm like really contoured. And I don't find a lot of contours on the market that are very cool toned. And in fact, I haven't seen any that are as cool toned as this brand is. And so, I mean, this is a big deal. Having it be so, it's about the right level, but I have to put a lot on. And that's another clue when it's disappearing, then it's not going to be right for you. Okay, if it's disappearing and you have to put a lot on, it's not the right color. It's too matchy. And if it is looking orangey or dirty, it's the wrong color also. This is Aspen Contour. This is in contrast to Walnut. This is a very light shade, and it's just a little bit more, do the other side with the correct color to compare. Okay, I will. Well, I will do with the wrong color again, and then I'll go again. All right, so this one is a little more ashen tone, and I want to give you an example of, this is still a wrong one. And the reason why is because even though this is more cool tone and it should work for me, it's too cool tone and it's too light. All right, I could put that on for days and it would never, and it makes my face look ashy. All right, and it will also, you can kind of tell, because especially if it's too ashen tone for you, it's going to kind of give you that gaunt, sickly look instead of it really making your cheekbones pop. All right, I'm gonna do a darker, see, like you can't even see it up there. It just kind of looks like dusty. I'm gonna actually get a little more water on my towel here. Okay, so, I'm gonna wipe off this side here. And I'm going to give a good example of like a better example of a really warm tone contour. Too warm. All right, so this one here is Stone, and it's a darker version of this. And this looks beautiful on me when I'm tan, but today is not that day. I picked a day, I specifically picked this for a day when I had no tan on. Which is rare because I fight the natural way that God made me. All right, so there you go. Now let's see the correct contour on the other side. And your contours and your highlights slash foundation colors, however you want to call it, they are going to look different when you have the wrong one on. So I could have the right highlight color, but the wrong contour, and then I'm like, oh, my highlight's incorrect, and it's really my contour color. So this is mine here, and this is Astoria. I'm gonna get a little, pat that a little dry. And Astoria is great because it has a lot of depth, and so it has a great color range. So I'm gonna come in here and see how that's a nice in between look between being too cool and too warm. Because it has more depth, it's great. And then I'm gonna blend them out so you guys can really see. Look how much more flat this side looks compared to this side that's suddenly, like, obviously it needs to be blended, but it's like getting those, starting to get shape, starting to gain shape. So I'm going to use a damp perfector for this beauty sponge, and I'm just going to go over as opposed to this side here. Okay, so this one's gonna look more like a shadow. Whereas this one looks more like what's on your face. We don't want the what's on your face look. Look at how when I smile, this looks like my shadow has popped my cheekbone out, and this looks like it's flat. And it's really a huge difference, you guys. And I can't wait to show you it all together. I'm like, should I do one side and the other? Should I do that? Would that be cool? Like the wrong side and the right side. Okay, I'm gonna go too dark on my highlight over here. Which I was going to do and then I forgot. So that is just kind of like me. I'm going to do too dark here. Let's see. I am going to choose Candlelit, which is a great color. I love it so much. Beautiful beige color. And I want to show you how even just the slightest too dark is gonna look on me, as opposed to the correct lightness. Too dark is a lot easier to tell for a lot of people because they're used to being like, oh, hey, you know, when something's too dark, it looks a little bit orange, it flattens out your face, you know, all that kind of stuff. As opposed to if it's too light. That's that secret that I told you in the beginning. It'll just look chalky. So this color is beautiful. It's beautiful on me. It's beautiful on a lot of people, but why is it the wrong color? Because it isn't brightening my face at all. It is covering really nicely, but it's not brightening my face. On here. Struggling. And it's gonna look a little bit more cakey when it's the wrong color. So I used one that's really close to the right color. Another thing about it is that it's not, it's really not gonna match this. The lightest part of my face isn't gonna match the lightest part of my neck. So I can do a couple of things. If this is the right color for me, like it sits nicely and it's really great, I can just brighten this one up. But what I like to do is, and so, let's see, how do I explain? So I can, if I feel like I don't have anything that's covering nicely enough, here's another color that's too dark for me that I'm going to put on the other side too. This one's just a little bit too dark for me. This is Aura. Hey guys, share, share, share. I want to give away a bunch of brush cleaners. All right, so this is Aura and then this is Candlelit. They're both just a little bit too dark. Should I have done a more dramatic dark depth? But they both cover up my redness really well. And they're both nice and light and they sit on my skin, which is what you really want. You want it to sit on your skin like butter. It'll look so smooth and it will really like make your skin look just hydrated and healthy. All right, I get much more of a look like that from a darker color than I do from the lighter colors, but it's a little bit too dark to the point where it's not really, man, there's a huge difference. Look at the difference between this side and then this side where the cheekbone is contoured correctly with a cool tone contour. Just makes such a big difference. So this isn't bad. They both look pretty similar. Is that what you guys are seeing also? It's just a little too much darkness from here to here. So now what I do is I go in with a second highlight. One that looked chalky on me before is gonna look, it's gonna lay smoothly on me now. Okay, this is Moonlit. And I'm just gonna pop that right over top. Right in the triangle of light. If you guys don't know what the triangle of light is, I get my 3 brushes out. This is the triangle of light. Okay, this is the high point of your face. That should be the brightest and the lightest to really draw attention. I'll do a little bit up here too. Okay, so contoured side, flat side, dimension, flatness, wrong colors, too orange, nice and cool toned. And look at this side, just from side to side, how much bigger this side looks. Let's use a thinner brush. How much bigger this side of my face looks. And the focal point doesn't become your eyes or your lips or your features that you want to focus on. The focal point becomes it's the flatness of your face. So your eyes don't look the same color, and your, lips don't look bigger and things like that. And that's the point of highlighting and contouring, is to have all of that show up. So, just like I'm doing with, I have, where I have this, my brows drawn out nicely. I have my brows drawn out nicely. I have my cheekbone carved out, and so it's really focusing in on my eye here because I basically outlined my eye, and then I've made it really bright under here with that lighter color. Whereas on this side, it's just kind of like whatever. Does that make sense, you guys? Hi, Heather. My issue, prompt, the topic. Oh, actually, I've had a lot of people talk to me about this. But yes, so yes, you helped. All right. I'm always looking for topics that you guys want me to talk about. Always share, and tell me what you want me to speak on. I am planning a big live that talks about color matching and the color wheel and all that kind of stuff, but that's maybe a little bit more in depth. So I wanted to just do this one for you all, picking out your own foundation, just seeing. I'm going to complete this a little bit more. The wrong side. I'm going to go in a little bit deeper with my incorrect contour. And it doesn't look bad. So that's the hard part, is you're just kind of like, well, it doesn't look terrible. It just doesn't have that look that I wanted. That is, or, you know, I'm not getting that pop or that glow. I mean, it's pretty. It's a beautiful contour, and it is more ash tone than anything else that I've ever seen. Sorry, yeah, more cool tone. It's better to say cool, I think. People don't want to be ashy, they want to be cool. But there's a big difference. So, from side to side. And if I am gonna come in and really trying to find my other color that I use when I am darker, and I think I'm all out. I ran out of amber. How does this happen? I don't know. Because I use it too much. Here is a little bit darker. So I really want you guys to be able to see that contrast. I'm not going for totally dramatic contrast, but I want you to be able to see what, you know, this matches okay. It's just flat and not beautiful, and this side over here is contoured. All right, so now I'm going to put on some blush. Blush is really about preference, I have found. So if you're looking for which color you like, I have really discovered that it's just like, I prefer this, I prefer that. People that have more, where did I even put my brush? Guys, I'm losing my mind today. I must have dropped it or something. I did. All right, so if you're wanting to get the perfect blush application, this is the best brush ever. I love it. So this right here is just a perfect, like, light pink flush. It's so nice. I have found that with blush, what matters isn't so much the color as it is the texture and the type of blush that you use. I love mascara blushes. Not only are they versatile, so I can put them on my lips and my cheeks, but they are also just so pretty and look so nice. I'm gonna do the same on both sides, so I'm not cheating. And someone asked if I use the Buffy brush. I do use the Buffy brush, and I love it. It's really great for setting up your makeup. I haven't really used it a lot for like my basic application, so it just kind of depends. And then I'm gonna put on some bronzer. I'm not gonna do my Bella bronzer, I'm just doing my Cayman bronzer, so you can kind of see the side to side. So now with the bronzer, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna be, I'll use a more warm bronzer, and that just makes me look nice and tan. but it doesn't take away the contours of my face, right? Because I already have that nice ashen tone contour. And now if I go over here and I warm this side up, you guys see that dimension difference? So cool. I'm just putting warm on top of warm, and I'm losing that dimension. And it's still pretty. It's just not what I'm really going for. I'm gonna put a little more, I like to do this where I sharpen my contour right after I get done blending, because sometimes I'll blend it out a little too much. All right. With mascara and creams, there's good, better, best. So many colors look good on so many faces. It's really true. So this is just kind of how to make it look good on your face. You know, how, like, just those specifics of the differences between warm tone, cool tone, neutral tone. I'm gonna swipe the comments here so I can really get up and close here. So again, this isn't bad. It doesn't look terrible, and I don't think anyone's gonna look at my makeup here and be like, that's gross. But because I wanted to be fair and not say like, here's a really ugly, obvious, but I just wanted to show the difference in the side to side so you can really see what kind of dimension you're looking for and really see what type of, just kind of knowing how to match yourself and knowing, and there's times when it's time, I'm gonna put a little more brightness here. There's times when it's time for a new shade and it's fun to experiment. And especially with mascara, you can try out colors and exchange if it's not for you. And detailing it out here. If it's not for you, then you can just exchange it for something that you want to try better, or you can keep it for a different season. Like I said, I like Stone, the one that I'm wearing over here. I like it when I'm really, really tan, but you know, today, I am not tan, so, and I can just keep piling it on, and it doesn't really deepen the contour, not like it did on this side. Okay, one last thought and one last thing. Nose contour. This was inspired by a question that came in. Nose contour, you do not want your nose contour to be orange. So let's talk about regular contours here that we have in our, you know, you might have like olive, which is, see, this is olive. You might have olive, which is not like an extremely warm tone contour, but this is why it's not going to be the best for your nose. Let's find a brush here. Find the brush I want to use. I think I'm going to use this brush, just this straight edge here. So when you're doing your nose contour, I'm going to use the straight edge. Go on up there. All right, so, and then I'll go here, do my brighter highlight down the center. Gotta try to keep it really straight and then blend it out gently. It's not bad, but it's definitely obvious. And it's not really creating this nice sharp look. And I went over this before in my last live where I did some really detailed tips on highlighting and contouring. Just some fun stuff that I haven't shared before. And one of them was this, that when it comes to your nose, if you have a really warm tone contour, even if the warm tone contour looks good on you, it's not gonna look great on your nose for the most part. unusually, I should say. That's the great thing about makeup, is that there's just a couple of basic rules and principles of color, but then the rest of it is like art, and it's up to you. But if you really want that chiseled look, you're going to need to use something that's a lot more cool toned. So I am going to use my cool toned Astoria for the sake of multitasking. But we also have Shadow, which is even more cool toned. Maybe I should just jump to a Shadow. For the dramatic effect, a little bit goes a very long way. And this is kind of like a messier way to contour your nose, but it works for me. And it's an easier way for me to show you how. All right, so see how this line here, let me try to blend this a little bit. I don't want to blend it too much because I want you to be able to see it, but see how this right here just looks more like a natural shadow over here, as opposed to, hang on here. Right here is like, you don't see it as a line. Over here, it looks more like there's dirty something, like you got something on your nose. This just soaks in and looks like the shadow that's naturally on your nose. So when your nose contouring, you know, it's tricky because you don't want to make your nose look bigger. I have bumps on my nose, that my nose kind of comes down and it comes wide right here. So I always come back through with a brush. Hey, Rachel. With like a lighter color, so I can define that nose contour a little bit more. But I feel like there's a pretty big difference between the straightness of my nose over here and it just looking like it's a natural shadow, and then over here it looking like it's dirty. Maybe I need to be a little more dramatic. Can you guys see that? My nose gets patchy. I'm thinking it's oils. So this is, I'm so glad you brought that up, Heather. Yes. Okay. So here's something about patchy noses. So again, noses are funny because I think it's because they protrude more. The pores are different. It's a lot more, there's a lot more detail going on with your nose than just, you know, the flatness of your face anywhere else. So when you are doing your nose, and also I have found this to be true for chins as well. And the chin is the same thing. There's just a lot more contours naturally to the nose and to the chin. There are going to be times when your makeup looks patchy. It'll look great everywhere else, but it'll look patchy right on your nose or right on your chin. So quick fix for that is to pick a shade that is darker than the one that you have, or at least one that is, or at least one that is a different, like a bit different color. I hate to say darker again, like I said, it's not darker and lighter, it's color. Color is a big difference. And picking a shade that's like that instead of the one that you have is going to, I don't know why, but it's going to help it meld a lot better. So go darker, try going darker with your nose and your chin if it's patchy on your nose and your chin. And then if that's nice and smooth, but it's just a dark or too dark of a color, then you can always go back in with a with the lighter color that you use on the rest of your face, if that makes sense. And you can go over it just like I did with the Moonlit that I used on this side to really brighten it up. I'm ombreing my blush now because I like to add a little extra dimension. What contour did you use on the rest of your face? So I used Astoria on this side, and then I used stone on this side. So you can see that stone, this side was stone, this is stone, and this is candlelit. And on my foundation on that side, and then on this side I have Astoria contour, which it looks more defined. It looks more like my cheekbone here is popping. And then I used Aura, and then I put Moonlit on. So it's much more bright. And all I did with the Moonlit was I just gently, where is it? I just gently touch a little bit right here, and then I go right here. And sometimes I think because this is a flat area, sometimes this is gonna look a little too orange also, because it's just flat. So maybe you wanna go a little bit lighter color. What you really want is for the majority of your face to, at least some of it, to match the fairness of your neck. And if you're struggling with having a really red face and a really fair neck, or vice versa, see how this side here looks like flatter, and it's not terrible, it's just not the dimension that you see over here, and the brightness and the illumination that you see over here. And this contour is kind of disappearing now, and it just looks more dirty than anything like an actual contour. It looks like makeup. And then I did some bronzer over here too, over top of that. So if you're struggling with two different, like really different shades, so you have like a really red face and a really fair neck, this can help to disguise so much of it, but at the same time, you're probably gonna end up with a bit of a different shade on your face and your neck. So using bronzer as a tool for that is great, because you can bronze up your neck, you can bronze up your décolleté area here, you can, these, what's the word? These highlights are going to disguise redness, blemishes, acne, discoloration, and still show your beautiful freckles like no other makeup that you've ever used. But it is going to be tricky to sometimes to match that. Maybe you'll have a really dark chest and a really fair face. Again, just bronze it up. Go crazy with the bronzer after that, and it's great. This bronzer, Bella bronzer, is a, I know I need to clean this, sorry you guys. This is a cream bronzer, which is great because I don't find it settling in my pores or lines or anything like that. But I'm just gonna warm up this side here and look at how like cohesive everything looks over there, as opposed to this side here where it's just like the shade is just different. It's just too yellow, and it's just not complimentary. Okay, do you guys have any questions? I'm gonna now remove this side really fast and do my face so it looks nice. Thank you for the share. You guys share, because I'm giving away this brush cleaner, which is to die for. And I don't have perfect skin, you know, here's all of that stuff. Like, it's amazing coverage. You guys are gonna like die the side to side now. Get that off my nose. Look at that. Crazy, right? I have plenty of redness and acne, but what you need to really look past when you're looking at your skin and your matching is looking at what's underneath all of that is going to give you a better tale of what your skin tone is. I think by nature, people all think that they are fair. I've noticed that. No one's that fair until they look at me though. Look at how fair I am, you guys. I like match my shirt in my wrist, in my most fair spot. Look at the difference though. I wiped off too much on my chin. Look at all of that dimension and just how incredibly beautiful it is. Big difference. Where did I get my earrings? They are so fun, right? My husband calls them fishing lures. He's always like, You left your fishing lures. You guys see that? That's amazing. I'm gonna put a little bit, I love to multitask and use my contours as eyeshadows. So pretty. Let's see. Where's my blend and tap? I'm gonna take this and I'm really going to emphasize. I'm gonna contour my eye out. And I haven't even put on my illuminator yet. Then I'm gonna come under here. And this is just, again, even doing your eyes, it's still all highlighting and contouring. It's all about the magic. I swear the magic of mascara never ceases to amaze me, I think is what you meant to say. Seriously, I never can get over it. I'm gonna put a little bit of illuminator up here. This is Angel Illuminator. I'm obsessed. It is so pretty. Right there in the corner. I'm gonna stick a little bit of Glamazing over top of it. And then a teeny bit of the Angel Illuminator right here. All right, you guys. What do you think? Amazing, right? Beautiful makeup, such awesome results. I'm just so amazed. Look at how much higher and like, I don't know, just non-contour. Look at how much bigger my eye looks over here. What the difference that makes. Everything. Okay, so I'm gonna throw on this makeup again on this side and finish up so I don't have to walk around looking like a maniac all day. This is Aura, which is the first shade that I use to take away all that redness and even out my skin, hide my pores. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for sharing. Can't wait to pick some winners. You're gonna love this. Boom, just like that. All of that redness coverage. Amazing, right? And then I'm going to do my contour, my correct contour, cool toned contour. Like, I only have one spot to put my brushes. Why do I keep losing them? Astoria, right at the base of my cheekbone. Astoria looks really dark in the pan, and I am really, really fair. It is great on a ton of ranges. How can I tell if Astoria would be the wrong color for me? Because it would look ashy and make your face look gaunt, and it would look gray. That is how you can tell. Nobody asked that yet, but I know that's coming. Everybody's like, who are you talking to? I actually had a couple of haters tell me that I talk too much. So I at first was like, oh, I apologize. And then I was like, sorry, not sorry. How you guys supposed to know if I don't tell you? And then I'm going to do, let's see, what order? I'm going to do my Moonlit to help brighten up a little bit of the Moonlit. And then I always come in after and I touch a little tiny bit more. Brighten up that area, which Moonlit alone looked really chalky and pasty. It wasn't enough to brighten up with all the redness that I have. And I don't feel like I have a ton of redness, but it just looked chalky on there and it wasn't enough. So that matters. And then my blush, Simple Simple. And I'm doing Summer Love. And it's kind of sheer, so I threw Frenchie over top of it because I love the natural look of it. Oh, you guys, I'm losing my mind. Here's Frenchie. I love the natural look of both of them, and I love that ombre look. I put Frenchie more in the center, right? And then I'm gonna go over it with some bronzer. I'm obsessed over Summer Love. Can't inform if one does not speak. That's what I said. I was like, well, how am I gonna tell you all the good things if I cannot speak to you all the good things? Also, if you don't love my good things, then you don't have to watch this. But you should. All right, so what was I going to tell you? Oh, hey, I missed one extra contouring tip that I absolutely love, which is contouring under your lips. It is going to make your lips look so much bigger. Because you're like, oh my gosh, I have this huge shadow. And then a little bit of illuminator up here. And my contour on my eyes. This is olive contour, to be clear. It's a nice balance between warm and cool also. But it's a little bit more on the warm side than Astoria. All right. A little bit of Angel on my Cupid's bow. A little bit of contouring down the side of my nose, lest I forget. See that with it being an actual cool contour, how much more chiseled. I don't know if the side to side with the nose really helped. The side by side of like a too warm. I'm rushing too much. Sorry. It's so much, it looks so much thinner when it's the cool color, the cool tone color. And if that's what you're going for, a more defined, thin looking nose. And why do we contour our nose? It doesn't have to be because you hate your nose. It can be because you just don't want your nose to be as distracting. Again, because it protrudes. See, and I had a shadow on my nose. I have natural shadows right here and right here. And all that I did was just put a little bit of that highlight and it takes away that shadow. So it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing stuff, you guys. If you have any other questions, please message me. Feel free to message me. And I'm always looking up because I'm like, oh my goodness, where's my... And also, if I haven't color matched you yet, go get a color match. I have a link for you to fill out, or you can just send me a message. And there you go. Some nice, natural, everyday makeup. Looks really beautiful, nice and illuminated, and really contoured rather than, you know, too yellow, too orange, and all that stuff. Very, again, very, very like a natural look without, in my opinion, without it being too natural and looking like I'm not wearing anything. And I feel like that's what a lot of people want in beauty, whether it's your clothes or your makeup or your hair or you know, your body, any of that kind of stuff. We really want it to look, I mean, there's a time and a place for like distraction level makeup and hair and clothing, which is like super fun. And I love to do that. But I think for the most part, what we really want is a natural, something that looks natural enough, because it doesn't look like you're like trying so hard, and it doesn't look like you are just wearing gobs of makeup. And I don't want people to tell me that my makeup looks beautiful today. I want someone to tell me that I look beautiful today. So anyway, I hope that you guys like that. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you share. I hope that you win. And I hope that you have a fabulous weekend. And I should be on here either tonight or tomorrow, or maybe both if I get lucky. Yes, Heather says, as I get older, I want to be even more natural looking and enhancing features, right? Enhancing the features that you already have, enhancing the beauty that's already there, and you're just doing all these things to complement it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. And yeah, have a great weekend.